Hello, Patriots. This is Mr. Childers, one of the school counselors here at Centennial. I'm here today to talk about how we can stand up to bullying here at school. So last week, Mrs. Fortune talked about what is bullying. Just a quick review. Bullying is an intentional physical, verbal, or social aggression. It's often repeated over time and occurs when there's a real or perceived power of imbalance. So at the end of her lesson last week, she challenged you to look for unkind behaviors or discussions happening in school. And we're just going to take a minute really quick to turn to your partner and talk about one, what did you observe this last week, or what did you hear others saying that could have been mean or perceived as bullying? And two, what did you do about it when you did see or hear it? So teachers, let's press pause and have a discussion inside the classroom, and we'll come right back when you guys are ready. So today we're going to be talking about bystanders and upstanders. When you see someone being mean to another student, you're a bystander. That could be someone just walking by in the hallway if you see something and not do anything. You could be standing there watching them. Sometimes we see people pull out phones. All those people are bystanders and they're not contributing to helping solve any problem. There's a big difference between bystanders and upstanders. So again, a bystander is someone who is aware that bullying is happening or something mean is happening going on. An upstander is someone who stands up for the person being bullied. So becoming an upstander, so any bystander can become an upstander. So, if you're just walking by and you're seeing something mean, like the picture on the screen here, so this person would be a bystander just not doing anything. So they can easily become an upstander by speaking up and trying to stop the situation or help the situation out, letting them know that that's not okay. So these next pictures are ways that you can be an upstander. There's multiple ways that you can help someone out. The first one is you can help support someone. You can directly help the person being bullied. You can listen to them, ask them what they need, offer to help them, make a plan for dealing with the bully, or go in to help and talk with someone else. I have people come into my office all the time saying, hey, I think my friend's being bullied. That's a great support system. So sometimes those that are getting bullied don't have the strength to come in and tell. They don't want to feel like they're tattling or telling on someone, but a good friend will come in and let others know, or a trusted adult know, that something is going on. In this picture, you can see a student is talking with like a teacher. So you can get help. Talk to a trusted adult, such as a family member, a counselor, a teacher. Ask them to help you figure out a way to stop the bullying. So a lot of times things as students are kind of out of our control and do need adults involved who can help the situation. So in this last picture here is speak up. If you feel safe, calmly and firmly tell the person to stop bullying and explain why it's hurtful. I was in the lunchroom the other day and I heard a student say something really mean to another student. And before I could say something, that another student stepped up and said, hey, we don't talk like that here. That's really mean. And I was like, whoa, that was actually pretty cool of them to do. And the conversation stopped. It totally changed the tone at the table, and things continued on. And the bullying stopped at that moment. So speak up if you hear or see something that's not appropriate. So the next we have is a video of some students who have dealt with bullying, and then we'll take some time to discuss those in class.
This friend of mine was getting bullied by a boy who kept talking to her and being really rude and constantly just saying names at her and just wouldn't stop. So she tried to ignore him, and that didn't work.
They pushed me around, took my lunch, took my book bag, ripped up my homework, spit on me, kicked me. I felt bad about getting bullied.
I didn't fit in, like people didn't really understand me because I read books a lot, and they would tease me every day by pushing my books on the ground, or they would push me into lockers in the hallway. And when I would try to do my work, they would throw pencils and papers at me, and they would start rumors. They would say things such as I'm a bookworm. They would call me mean names and stuff like that.
So in that first scenario, Katie, one of her friends was being bullied by someone else. They were calling them names. And let's take a minute and talk about how we could show support for Katie's friend. So turn to your neighbor, and teachers, you can press pause, and so that everyone can have a conversation. And when you're ready to come back, we'll talk. So in this situation, ways that Katie can show support is she can comfort her friend, ask what she needs, right? Help her find a trusted adult to tell. Again, I get students coming in, usually there's sometimes a strength in numbers. There's sometimes like 2 or 3 people that will come down and tell me a situation that needs to be addressed. Help her come up with a plan to avoid the person who's bullying her. Things like that. In that second scenario, Jerry was being physically bullied. He was getting pushed. They were taking his ripping up his homework. They were taking his things. He even got spat on, I think, at one moment, he said. So what are ways that we could get help for Jerry? So teachers, again, press pause, and students, turn to your partner and discuss ways that you could get help for Jerry. And when you're ready, you can press play again. So ways to get help for Jerry. You could help him talk with a trusted adult about what happened. Report it. That's probably the number one thing that you could probably do in this situation, because we need that to not happen at school. So you can encourage Jerry to get help from a trusted adult, or again, you can ask for himself. So we need to know about those things so we can address them. In the last scenario, Hope was being bullied for her love of books. She was being made fun of. Her books were getting hit off her desk. She got pushed into a locker. They were calling her names. How could you speak up for Hope? So again, teachers, you can hit pause. Students, turn to your partner and discuss how you could speak up for Hope. All right, ways to speak up for Hope. You can tell people doing the activity that it's not funny. That usually stops it right away. A lot of times when people are picking on someone, they don't realize that they are bullying someone. They just think it's funny. And the person that's being bullied might laugh too, just to have them hope that just to let them know that it doesn't hurt them. But just standing up for them, say, hey, that's not funny. We don't do that here. Tell them that it's okay to have different interests. Tell them that you like to read as well. So, partnering up with Hope, kind of like, there's again that strength in numbers thing. So there's lots of different ways and things you can say to stand up and speak up when you see bullying happening. Because a lot of times when bullies are challenged, the activity stops almost immediately. So think of a situation that you've witnessed or you've seen or something that you've heard someone talk about. Explain how you could use a strategy that you learned this week to be an upstander. So teachers, you can press pause if you guys would like to have a discussion about what ways they can be an upstander in situations like this. We can move on. All right. So that concludes our lesson on upstanding today. So my challenge for you guys is to look for examples of upstanders in our community and take a risk and be an upstander yourself. If you see something happening, report it. You can always talk to Mrs. Fortune or myself, see an administrator like Mr. Rosenbaugh, Mrs. Collins, or Mr. Parker. Let them know, or your teachers know. We also have that Safe Tips Reported Anonymous tip line. So if you ever see something happening and you don't want to talk to us in person, you can always report it online. So if you go to the CMS guidance page, you can always, this is the CMS guidance page. If you scroll down to the bottom, there's the reported tip line, the QR code there. You probably have seen these QR codes around school on the walls too. But if you click on them, click on that link, you can either report it online, you can text in or email your tip, and we can get it addressed. So until next time, please come see us if you have any concerns, and please be an upstander. Thanks. Bye.